4. Jam-packed with Dota tonight. I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night of some Southeast Asia Dota. It's going to be a good one though, as we already saw a good first series, and I'm anticipating this second one is just going to be as good as well. As you know, we're going to see already TNC kind of smoke up and see what they can do. They might actually run into Moon. No, he's just going to drop a ward and dip out. So with this potential here, I mean, how are they... What is really the timing here for Fnatic? Is this just the win condition from the Morphling really try and give the space here to Raven, or?
I mean, I think Moon has to absolutely pop off, right? He just needs to dominate. He needs to rotate around the timings of the Moonlight Shadow. I think that's going to come into the equation quite heavily for Jabz. And if they're able to get kills onto the Invoker, that's going to slow down the Sven's timings. It's going to allow them to, you know, make more aggressive rotations into the jungle, block the stacks, maybe take them on their own. If Masaros is able to invade the dire tri-camp area and take away a 2-3 times ancient stack, that's going to go a huge way towards Fnatic's win.
Yeah, I like the way you put it as well. If they're able to kind of make the Invoker's lane a game a little bit more difficult, because you take a look though, like the plays that TNC can really have at the moment is pretty reliant on the Invoker having a good time, as Masaros is taking a little bit of damage up top as well, trying to force out as much as he can. He's only got one set of Tangos, but yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, Pango being in position 4, you can make plays around the Rolling Thunder, but it is 70 seconds and they don't really have another way to really initiate. Probably see Viper if he wants to go for this Atos. So is this going to be a little bit difficult for TNC to actually take fights if Armel has a rough game?
I mean, of course, like that's always going to be the case, but oh man, they've actually gone and killed KP.
It was ours.
What we were saying they needed to do, right?
Yeah, nicely done from them. Just the nice fire blast set up into the arrow, looks like able to find that one, and Jabz did get first blood. So they're actually, he's going to TP up top, so they just wanted first blood, try and secure the first wave here from Raven, denies a lot of it away from KP as well.
Yeah. Nicely done. Tims is doing a good job as well, pulling the wave through the small camp, so no pull's going to happen there, especially with that start that KP had, giving up the first blood. But he's not even going to walk back for the experience. This is all going to go the way of Tims.
KP is going to get a little bit of damage up in the meantime. You see just DJ, he's even got the Orb of Venom as well. I guess trying to see what he can do. I've seen a lot of, I guess, the fact that the Ogre seen a lot of emphasis on not really picking up too many points, at least going for this Orb of Venom. Is it just to try to man fight the Pango?
It depends on what lane setup you've got, right? Like, if you're actually able to get into attack range and start right-clicking people, then sure, but there are some times where, you know, this attack range where it's straight up idle, so you just need to opt around a little bit more offensively, maybe going for the boots, going for that nature.
Dire's courier has been
we see they've had a very good start, at least for the Morphling. I mean, he's about to be, in the next couple of waves, he's already level 2.5, which is a big factor. If Morphling can get that 3 without really getting contested too heavily, then he's going to feel like he's gotten out of a very tough spot for him in the laning stages. We take a look at mid. Moon looking to have a pretty good time. Both the damage at the moment, Armel, pretty even, which is actually dead even at the moment from Moon. So we'll see if he wants to go for some stats to kind of keep up with the Invoker, who's has looks like parts of the null coming out.
Yeah, that's right. Febby's doing a good job with his pulls, making sure he's denying as much as he can away from Jabz, but he's already at a little bit of a experience disadvantage, getting gone on a little bit here actually. Jabz might go for the kill.
Underneath the T2 tower, Febby's going to end up falling. Nicely done from Jabz, the point blank arrow, and just a little solo kill he gets, and now he's going to be able to take over some of the small camp experience.
Pretty low. Yeah. Cut his way through, but I'm sure he's yelling out, please bring me back a salve. Back to the lane.
Radiant
be able to give him a nice little heavenly grace, but they get himself instantly. Nicely done, and they glyphed it up as well. So Jabz, he takes no damage for it, and now Gabbi, honestly, like he's not going to get a lot out of this. What's he got? Corey coming, another salve, but it's going to be a lot of resources wasted.
Didn't have any vision up there. That was just some predictions. Nicely done by Jabz.
Jabz God, he's just a hell of a player here. So he wants just the pressure. I mean, Febby's got that level 2, so with the Bassi, we're just going to see him constantly kind of spamming out the region to keep Gabbi at least somewhat afloat. But Jabz is already level 3, which is a big thing, and Masaros is doing relatively decent with his levels as well.
Opting for the 2 points in the Sacred Arrow, nice little damage boost going from level to 2, but you would think he's going to start leveling up the Starstorm. Oh wait, no, fine. Tim's coming through to the bottom rune. They're going to scout out that it's top. Will Moon be able to grab it? No, just denies it away.
This Shackle didn't really have anywhere to land on, but Gabbi is getting run down up top here. He's going to be able to juke through the trees and get back to Febby, but Jabz is going to take a lot of damage, so they'll end up trying to turn their attention towards the Omniknight. They got the hoof stomp set up. Jabz on a killing spree already, so you brought up that I guess kind of maybe taking away the Mirana from Tim's, but you also highlighted the fact that he's a incredibly strong Mirana player himself, Jabz at the moment. I mean, 3-0, some very solid plays so far throughout his laning stage.
Nothing too bad that you can say about Jabz as a player. You know, in the past, you had Fnatic wanting to cater to DJ, perhaps a little bit too much at times, and you know, I thought they had a really good showing at ESL1 Thailand, for example. But ever since then, they tried changing things up. Didn't work so much, and I'm happy that this is the iteration of the team that they're going with.
The prize is mine.
It's a very good start to this game one. I mean, they got a 1,000 net worth lead very early on, but it just shows how strong at least this start to the laning stage has been. And Jabz is even going to get a nice little D ward as well. So now this is going to enable a lot of his rotations, being able to go from top to mid and just kind of running on that backside. A lot of the time, the Mirana wants to kind of find the angle on behind the tier 1 just for this arrow. That's going to give the mid lane Invoker a little bit less of a time to be able to react with how his camera is going to be positioning. So you see he's even got kind of a deeper ward as well.
Perfect ward as well, because you know with a Sven that they're going to try and give him some sort of stacks, and you know that's catching essentially 2. You know, the one that it actually has vision on, as well as the fact that you're probably going to be pulling this stack closest to the tier 1 tower to your right.
Armel finds DJ coming mid. Meanwhile, Masaros just solo kills Gabbi up top, but we'll keep our eye on the mid as Ogre does end up falling. Masaros is going to be able to run himself away though. He's got 15 HP regen, so a solo kill on the Sven. Meanwhile, we see that Ogre end up dying mid. They were trying to set up for the Fire Blast into the arrow combo, but wasn't able to find that. A quick tornado kept the Invoker alive, but
so close to dying there.
He might still die though as Tim's comes over the swashbuckle, so hanging around for a little bit too long will pay the price, but Tim's trying to snipe Febby as well. Sorry, Jabz trying to snipe Febby there.
To his credit, KP's made a decent recovery after giving up that first blood, but you know, 1v3 was always going to happen. Raven still looking pretty scary on that Morphling as well. He's already got his Morbid Mask, so he's not going to need to ferry any more regen out for himself. He's going to be able to sit there, farm safely, and essentially DJ can start to make these rotations up away from the rest of the team.
Actually want to get aggressive though down bot, but the Stampede allows the Ogre to set up for the stun. Well, that's all they needed to close the distance. It's a nice kill hunting KP. Meanwhile, mid though, Moon, well, a little bit low, doesn't have a whole lot of mana as well to be able to turn and help out Jabz. But it looks like it was just trying to get himself away from aggression. So nice use of the Stampede there, nets himself a kill. But they do now know that Masaros doesn't have this, although push them onto two. Tim is going to end up falling. Masaros is playing out of his mind in this laning stage, and now with the arrow clips on top of the Sven as well. Hoof still on cooldown. Jab's going to come over. It's only 1 point up for the Starstorm, but Gabbi, he doesn't have a stun for another 5 seconds here, and along with the purification, that's on cooldown as well. Perfectly. Jabz, he blocks the retreat. This man is just styling on them at the moment. Armel's going to TP forward. Finally, they get the king, or do they? Fairy Fire? He's got the real. Oh, it's not enough. The 1-2 sticks, unfortunately, but man, Jabz is. Whew.
That was so worth it, though. You know, kill on the core, forces the rotation away from mid, gives Moon more time to farm, gets him the rune. It's a double damage as well, so just wins on wins on wins coming up for Fnatic.
It's looking good for them so far, as they've even got Raven, who's just having an incredibly Nice time down bot. But, I mean, for TNC, you see Armel, he is top of the net worth at the moment. He's actually going to be going into that Orchid that we saw last game as well from the position to Invoker. So, trying to have the a little bit of the catch and kill potential. You did bring up the last game that it feels very awkward to build up, you know, at least with what you're able to do with it on the Invoker. It's not kind of these cost-effective items that we can see kind of the earn really utilize with the cost works.
Yeah, I mean, wait, are they even at all on the team? Like, they've already got it on KP, yeah. I mean, it makes sense to go into this Orchid, but you got to be getting kills to get the Orchid. It's kind of like a bit ironic here. They're going in onto Masaros 3. Might have overstayed his welcome for once.
Back into the Sven. There's that last right click with the tower. Yeah, he just ends up costing him his life there. So, I mean, that's a nice little bit of revenge they get, because Gabbi, I mean, he's, at least the thing on the Sven is that you've got this innate farming mechanic with the cleave. I mean, 4 points maxed out already, so you are going to be able to catch up, but it's still got to keep in mind though, like shutting down his lane, and it's going to be very obvious where this Sven wants to play. I mean, he's just going to try and position himself around the triangle, so this can give Fnatic, you know, opportunities to move in with the Mirana ulti and just, you know, place some vision as well.
And that makes Masaros' role in this game so important. He needs to constantly be pushing this wave in to make sure that it is obvious when the Sven is off farming things in the jungle. And he found an Omniknight. That's one little bit of information. And now Gabbi, he's going to stack up that Ancient a third time and start to farm it up.
DJ will end up falling. Raven's going to get a return kill by the bounty timing. So looks like Zen comes over and snags. It's going to be 1 for 2 overall across the map here, as it will be a lot of pressure force on top, although KP, he's got a haste, and Masaros with the TP unfortunately not available here, so KP is just able to solely bring him down. Armel's even going to come over as well, just in case there's any more reinforcements from Fnatic, which are coming over in the form of the Morphling and also the Ogre as well. Let's see if they want to try and make something happen, and they will. They'll smoke up. Mirana showing. This is going to be, I mean, finding the connection on top of KP, that's the issue though.
Great timings on the aggression from KP, by the way. All throughout that, Gabbi was just taking that gigantic Ancient stack. Now he's able to rotate through to mid. He's going to keep pushing with this siege creep. So right now it's just delaying as much as possible on TNC to make sure that they're not focusing on the Sven.
And TNC, they're looking to turn though. Armel baited out this now with the rotation coming through from the outpost. KP is going to get involved as well. The Moonlight to try and give them some space to retreat away. But the consequence is going to be DJ's life, as meanwhile we just see Gabbi having a very nice time in the jungle. He's able to catch up, but ready, they want to go back forward.
Nice to
finds the Omni, the perfect arrow combo as well. Tim's going to try and disrupt this with a Rolling Thunder. Perfect chain lockdown on the Mirana, and it doesn't have any mana to be able to leap away. So it's a couple of heroes down from Radiant, but you do see, you know, what's occurring across the map though. Like, Gabbi's getting a lot out of this. You know, Morphling as well, trying to keep up.
He was in 5th like a minute ago, so he is just rocking it up, the net worth charge. You know, you might see a bunch of kills go the way of Fnatic, but they don't care at the end of the day. As long as the Sven's having a good time, that's all they're worried about.
Just the classic Sven game, whereas, you know, had maybe a rougher laning stage, but you just stack him up, and then, yeah, I mean, even then, like, his lane's so strong a lot of the time, but just the comeback potential that he has, it's annoying to watch sometimes, as this hero is always around the top of the net worth. But the Centaur, I mean, he's in a bit of pain at the moment here. DJ tries to help out with the stun, but it's not going to be enough there, as Armel is able to bring him down. It's going to give them an opportunity maybe to get some vision down, as Febby's got a ward, looking to drop it a little bit more aggressive.
Tried to get that shackle in onto Armel, didn't quite connect. Would have been enough to take him down with that javelin. But the fact that they're able to do this, or are they going to find Jabz here?
They've got the Rolling Thunder. Jabz got 2 more leap charges to be able to utilize as well. He's juking throughout the tree line, and he's alright. Looks like still would have been a bit of a difficult kill to go for him. So Jabz is actually still going to go for the Yule Scepter, even though you're against his Sven with the for the 15 talent. The spell looks like Jabz mainly just wants to use it more aggressively, and I guess also what it's able to provide the Mirana with some regen.
I suppose so. I mean, with the Sven, he's most likely going to ult. He's probably dead here on Jabz. Maybe not.
Nicely done.
They're probably going to want to try and get aggressive, start making their first movements when he's got that axe picked up. So maybe rather than using it defensively, just needing to make sure they're in prime position on some high grounds, and then use the Yule Scepter offensively. Pick off the Sven before he's able to get a BKB purchase for himself.
Top lane KP. They missed the shackle. They're still continuing to dive though. Moon's doing an immense amount of damage.
Yeah.
Good old focus fire javelin, and yeah, the right clicks. Unfortunately, the Viper not really able to deal with that. Even Raven's trying to show up as well. So I mean, they haven't found the tower just yet for Fnatic. It looks like they will finally be able to though with the top tier 1 and falling here.
Yeah, good job. Gives Raven a little bit of snipes a few of those creeps there, but Raven still gets the majority of them. Just going to progress into the jungle. It opens up a lot more farming space for him as well, so be very happy. He's been able to achieve. Big that we've got waiting. I suppose they're getting close-ish to this MKB. I think maybe Moon will be trying to pick that one up, only about 750 gold away, and then starting to make some action.
Yeah, it's going to be the hunt potential that Moon can have, and also just the Mirana constantly enabling you to be able to find these pickoffs. As though TNC, they're smoking on, trying to catch up Masaros here. This is very deep, and if he can get the Stampede off, he's also got some magic protection with the hood, but it looks like still Masaros is in trouble, as there's actually no help coming through from Fnatic. They'll end up burning out the Centaur. Now they want to try and look to take the tier 1 tower mid as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Real estate this is right now, and they might even try and make an aggressive play into the bounty rune. KP's positioning himself for it, but I don't know if they're in this position to do it right now with the Rolling Thunder having just been used. Armel, he'll at least pick up this bounty rune. Find himself a Jabz kill. No Walker just yet.
Armel can still hunt. He moves pretty fast. We'll miss the tornado, unfortunately. Jabz even lands the arrow, but meanwhile mid, Febby's pushed up pretty far forward. Raven wait for him aggressively. KP is going to show, but I mean, with the protection of this Omniknight morph, it's yeah, very difficult for you to actually try and pressure out Raven here.
Now we've got the Orchid here though, onto the Invoker. Might be starting to make some more aggressive plays. Morphling is of course public enemy number 1 for TNC. So I think they're going to be happy with whoever they find pickoffs for. Probably just only the Ogre they don't really care all that much about right now.
Gabbi's going for Silver's Edge, it looks like. Interesting.
Precious bounty.
Do you like this this item choice here from the Sven?
It's okay. Is he really good?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I'll be real, I don't like it all that much.
Yeah. Interesting.
Learned nothing.
What's okay?
Maybe he's going for solo pickoffs, like trying to find the Windranger when she's farming on him. That I can think of.
Yeah.
You use it to actually start the fight, then when you panic, Windrun away, he's going to be level 15 by that point, so he can just stun, kill her. Simple as that.
Yeah, well for Dire, they're going to smoke up, trying to utilize that ward that Febby placed deep previously, but unfortunately Radiant, they're kind of potentially, whereas DJ and Moon sitting behind the tier 2 tower, you got Masaros still continuing to play up top, who had a very good start to the game, 2-5-3 at the moment. He does have this blink coming out for the Centaur, so it looks like they want to try and maybe smoke up and make a play happen as Moon also with the MKB.
They've taken the entire jungle away from Fnatic, but Gabbi, he might get caught out here. The smoke hops.
Forward, and now he's just going to get melted down. Gabbi will pay the price, and now they're hunting for more. Masaros with that Stampede, although it looks like with the pings, they want some objectives instead. It's going to be more guaranteed an easier time for them, as they're just going to be able to walk it down, take the one. KP is showing they can wrap behind as Masaros is already set up on the road with count forward and find the Viper. The perfect chain locked down. They're going to try and get up Febby, but slow stops him from getting in range to the Heavenly Grace. Now Viper's going to end up falling, and now Omni's going to pay the price as well as Febby trying to disengage. Tim's going to be able to disrupt the fight with the Rolling Thunder. It is a 2-for-1 at the moment. Can they continue forward for more though? Armel thinking about running up the high ground straight into the hoof stomp. Febby chucks out the ultimate, but it's not going to matter as Fnatic, they punish them from trying to defend this tier 1 tower without the help of the Sven. Masaros played that incredibly well. The wraparound, finding the initiation on the Viper, and then Stampede slowing up the Omniknight so you couldn't dispel off the Hoofstomp arrow combo.
Very strong Fnatic. It's clear that what they were looking for when they went to pick up Masaros is they wanted someone aggressive, someone that can find those cheeky pickoffs, and is playing his role to perfection. It all just goes to show when you're playing at this high level, a simple mistake like Gabbi being caught out there where he was a little too deep, to be honest. He has teammates nearby, but just being a little greedy and being punished effectively for losing mid-tier 1, few heroes, and now this game feels like it's in Fnatic's favor quite comfortably.
They are kind of posturing around the high ground wall that they have at the moment, Radiant. They're coming over, see how they can initiate Masaros, two-man hook song. The Shackle as well on top of Gabbi, who's just getting shredded by the Windranger though, but the stun provides a distance, moves in trouble. Now Tim's gonna roll forward as well. Arrow connects, but Gabbi has got the rest of the team here to try and provide some distance. Now Armel with Tornado, Morphling controlled up, he's got the man to be able to get rid of the Orchid, but now he's just completely burned out of Penna, and Raven, he's in trouble, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It's 3 down from Fnatic. They even get the vision on Jabz as well. So it looks like this Mirana, can you retreat away? Armel's hunting. He's actually going to try and go down to the southern side near the river.
He's got that silver edge. DJ is dead.
Nicely done. That's a big fight for Dire. I mean,
that is... Oh, God Strength's just finishing, but they could probably still take Roche if they want it. I think wanting to just play around the safety a little bit, but it happened like we were predicting before, right? Jabz, he used the Yule Scepter offensively onto the Sven, used up a fair few seconds, about 6 or so of that God Strength, just with that Yule's arrow combination, but still not enough to be able to turn things around for his team.
Yeah, nice positioning. TNC just answering the request from Fnatic, trying to attempt to fight there. Although real quick, Radiant, I mean, they scout out Armel, who's pushing top with that deep lane board, so Armel could be in trouble. Although Raven shows, meanwhile, Tim's just gets absolutely melted by Moon down bot. They're still hunting Armel top, he's underneath the sentry ward, so Jabz has got set up, and now DJ can fall at the 5 blast as well. Does get a multicast, which makes things even sweeter. Although Armel, two-man tornado. Morphling should be able to follow up in a couple seconds with the waveform. Even Masaros showing up as well, just in case. So now, can they walk into Roche? Try it. 2 down.
Very well could. Moon's got enough for his Blink Dagger. You see, finished up his MKB already. Going for that solo pick-off potential. Looking to find the Sven if he can, but Invoker's the one that's going to be priority target number 1.
Well, Dire, they do scout this one out. Let's see if they're going to be able to get here to try and contest it. Sven, gold strength available. Yeah, coming over, but Roche is falling pretty low now that Moon showed up with the focus fire. Looks like this haven't gone in just yet. They're keeping him the grace after KP. It's going to try and push it pretty aggressively, but Aegis, they've already been claimed here from Fnatic. Moon's going to be the one to pick that up, and he's actually going to go for a BKB instead.
Yeah, I can feel it. It means that, you know, with that second life that he's got, he's able to play hyper aggressively rather than just go for the singular pickoff.
They're actually smoking up. They don't give a damn that Radiant just claimed that Aegis here. They want to pick off, even though Gabbi still hasn't hit that extra item that he's looking for at the moment. So they're hunting down Jabz, but this is incredibly deep here. Jabz stunned up. They should have the control and the damage to bring him down. Got the first duration, and they do so with the Armel Sunstrike. Now they're going to try and see what they can get. Controlling up the jungle. Bots already pushed in if they want to try and link that kill up with an objective, but they do kind of have to worry about top as well, which Masaros is shoving the lane in.
Gabbi can keep himself down bot here. I mean, they need to respond to this, otherwise be losing a fair amount. Defensively onto the tower. Now look what happens afterwards. That's the big response. And this is exactly what Fnatic need to be doing. They need to be pushing aggressively, get the Bloodlust onto the siege creep as well. So this top tower is going to go down pretty quickly as well.
So they're going to trade towers, although it does look Dire thinking about offering up a defense as Tim's and Cole are TPing forward. They didn't get that tower fast enough, and now they want to continue defending with the blink straight on top of the Morphling, but Raven's able to get the Attribute shift off, and now they still have the Stampede if they want to reset the fight. But on top of the backline, Gabbi, he finds the Ogre, pass over counter initiation. Can they protect DJ? It looks with the tornado, however, it's going to clip his life, and now Masaros is trouble as well. Stampede's going to wear off so they can continue chasing forward for more. As Gabbi will cleave him down, and now TNC, I mean, even though they're down the ages, they are just looking to take these fights straight head to head against Fnatic.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's just this Sven, the terror of the Sven, always being a factor. You know, he's got that lifesteal, so even when you think you've got him, all it takes is 1 or 2 lucky hits, cleaving off a few people, and suddenly he's still in fighting shape. He's getting damn close to that Ag Scepter as well, farming up this Ancients. And probably with this next wave, he's going to push through. Febby doing the good support thing, bringing it right to him, getting that extra couple of seconds that he needs. And there we go. We've got Superman ready.
He's about to hit that level 20 timing as well, so paired up with the Aghanim's, he's going to have just a 7-second downtime, or 7-second, sorry, cooldown on the Stormhammer, so it's going to make it very, very difficult to be able to control him through these fights. As we do see the Radiant, they're going to smoke up, they got the Aegis for another 2 minutes here, so really looking to try and utilize it. There's a couple of items getting picked up as well, Moon with that BKB.
Dire are scanning.
Scans on the mark though, so they're well aware of the positioning. Let's see if they can...
I'm really liking this item build from Raven. He's opting to go for E-Blade first, realizing that, right, before Sven's got his BKB, I need to make sure I'm popping this guy ASAP. He's going to have enough when he finishes this Ancient stack. It's going to fly out to him right now, so I think that's the timing that they're playing around. As soon as that reaches him, and where they've still got the Aegis, they need to be making a play.
And they even get a little bit of extra sustain coming through as well with the Jabz mechanism, but Radiant looks like they're just going to try and push in bot Dire. They're just going to do the opposite, as heading to the top side where they've got a very good couple of wards positioned at the moment, so really wanting to try and posture around their vision.
And a double wave as well, so they're not going to be able to defend this. I think all TNC need to do right now is just say, look, they need to come and fight us. Fnatic say they need to come and fight us if they want to get maximum use out of this Aegis. So
they're going to do just that. Glyph popped here, so TNC recognizing this, they're going to disengage. No one's hitting that bottom tier 2, right by the bounties as well. Although Raven still hanging around bot. They haven't seen this at the moment. They don't have any vision at the bottom side, but they do also see with that lane ward, Dire well aware that they're posturing aggressively. KP's going to face check this, takes a full bunch of the force with the focus fire. It looks like KP's in trouble though. Febby pops the ultimate, and KP's still ticking him down though. It looks like Gabbi wants to go back in. God Strength's going to get utilized here, but a nice shackles time for Moon. They can counter initiate forward as well with the Centaur. Can they chain lock him down though? Sven is always going to be able to bounce back and forth with that Superman, and there we go, straight on top of the Mirana.
They know Raven's here though. They know Raven is TP'd, but they've got the vision.
They still can fall. Oh my god, the damage from Gabbi deals with the first life, and that team can fall with the Rolling Thunder as well. It's got a couple of positions to be able to bounce back and forth. Just Gabbi's damage is so much paired up with the Alacrity, and now the Thunder Morphling as well. Bounce back once again. Masaros going to try to disrupt the backline, but the real battle is going to be the position once the quick Orc of Raven gets out with thanks to the Mance up, and now they're hunting though. Armel tornadoes up, and Raven just nowhere to run to as this Sven. You can't kite him, and once again Masaros still trying to do whatever he can on the backline, but to triple for Gabbi and Fnatic, they're going to end up losing 4. And I mean, TNC, they've just been running them left, right, and center across the map. The plays they've made, even though they've been down the ages, has just been so incredible.
Yeah, perfect vision coming through from the supports. Perfect timings coming through. You know, as soon as they can, anything that they can do just to get that extra 10 seconds out here, there, and everywhere. They're just funneling everything that they can into Gabbi. And making perfect use out of that God Strength. It just felt like there was nothing they could do to stop him there.
And that's also a fight before Gabbi picked up that BKB. So you're highlighting, but the E-Blade potential to be able to just burst him down. And now they're going to end up taking that tier 2 tower up top as well. And now he's getting even closer and closer. They move once again. Finding a solar kill, so Viper's going to pay the price, though he does have to be careful because Gabbi's hunting and wants a little bit of revenge and an extra solar kill himself.
Had about a couple of seconds left on that Silver Age, but the bonus of having that as opposed to the Shadow Blade is that the downtime on it is about 5 seconds less, so he's going to probably try and go for another move onto it. No, he's just going to back off a little bit.
The time.
Be a good time for Gabbi to go back to the Ancients now, actually. It's 27 minutes, so those tier 3 items are so much more effective in terms of the power spike compared from tier 1 to tier 2. It's pretty nice.
Oh, take that. It gives you a lot of burst potential. We've seen kind of this Ven start to hold the quiver now.
Yeah, I mean, 5-second cooldown, and your Stormhammer is a 7-second cooldown now with the talent, so you're gonna get it every time.
And we just see continuing to be a nuisance at the moment here. Tim's just keeping the lane shoved in. They've tried to hunt him, but unfortunately just that Moonlight Shadow wasn't enough there. And We see, I mean, TNC have been able to accumulate a 6,000 net worth lead even though they were down that Aegis here, and honestly things are looking incredibly good for the boys on Dire. Is this do you want them just to kind of wait that next timing, which they actually now seems like they have with the BKB? I was just a little bit worried that the Windranger's just been picking them off a bit too much, and I think this needs to come down to TNC just starting to group up once they hit that, you know, next item. It looks like they are going to, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like you mentioned, you're worried about them getting picked off. What's the way around that? Group together. You know, there's no way that Windranger is going to be able to deal with all of you throughout all of that. You've got ways to deal with it. Tornado, you've got the Deafening Blast, you've got the Lucky Shot, you've got Omniknight. It needs to be a perfect storm for Windranger to be able to 100-0 anyone on TNC roster.
And you see Radiant, they're playing so passive at the moment. I mean, they didn't see anyone until just then showing top. And they're trying to play around what little vision they have at the moment around their triangle camp. Roche is going to be up in 2 minutes here, so we're going to have a little bit more back and forth. Although the next objective is going to be the bounties and the outposts up in about 40 seconds here. So we'll see if there is any contention coming through.
It's on the Pango as well, so offensively being used against the Windranger, you would think. Priority for them. They drop a Sunstrike into the Roche pit. Not up yet, still a minute 40. You can see Moon, he's gone on a bit of a mission. He's purchased up that Blink Dagger as well, trying to find out anyone farming on their own, but not be lucky. No one on his side of the map even.
See, KP just picked up the Blade Mail as well, so it's going to make it very difficult for the Windranger just to focus down the Viper, but they're going to pop the Moonlight in this high ground. Who can they find it on top of the back? Masaros is going to be in trouble here, away from the rest of the team. They had that vision to be able to not have a carry in the world about the Moonlight. I know they're hunting for more. As the detection coming through, looks like it's going to be, I mean, they do see DJ, who's going to try and attempt the TP out. Can you get it? They can't. I mean, it now gives you, yeah, and now with the gem on Tim's, like, you're just going to be able to kind of de-ward around the triangle camp, and that next big objective, Roshan, having the vision advantage here is going to make it very difficult for Fnatic.
Still trying to go for these solo pickoffs, but there's just no one squishy enough, and I think Armel's been doing a good job of making sure he's sticking with at least one other hero throughout all of this.
There we go, just posturing on the high ground, exactly what they need to do. Control the triangle. Looks like Radiant, they're going to lose, I mean, a second observer ward now, so they've only got one kind of around the bottom power rune section.
And they don't want to be there on Fnatic. You know, they know that the top side is where all the objectives are. You know, mid tower, Roshan spawning in about 15 seconds, and then even the top lane, if they win a team fight, they can just go for racks.
Radiant's top tower
it's a big power spot that TNC are in at the moment. You see they're baiting this high ground. You just got KP pushed up so far forward, a hero that's very difficult to burst down, but I like this play from Fnatic. They're going to wrap all the way around, although even the positioning from Tim's is well aware of this. Smoke's going to pop. There's ward on the high ground, so Moon's going to show mid. They still want to continue to wrap through with the rest of the team. See, this is a massive wrap, but it looks like TNC, they are so aware of this.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Scanning it up. Didn't pop just yet, but you can see the one standing on the front lines is Febby, a bit of a sacrificial lamb here.
I mean, Jabz showed, but they know that Moon is mid, so if they actually want to try and hunt, Armel's looking for someone.
Timing on the smoke perfect as well. They're starting to make their move.
Goes Sentry drop. Masaros is in trouble here. Still Moon hasn't grouped up with the rest of Fnatic as well. Pops Stampede's going to try and retreat away to the northern tree line, but it looks like he's in trouble. Just that poison ticking him down. Centaur's got a buyback though if he wants to rejoin them, but it looks like the rest of Radiant, they're going to dip out, try and get the lane shoved in. They know that Roshan, well, he's Febby scouted out that Roche is up, and they've got the timer as well.
Just look at the top side. Tim's is just cutting a path through the trees, and Gabbi's following him all the way. But God's Strength is still up for not that much longer, actually, only about 10 seconds. So taking Roche now is a little bit of a risk.
It does give them bit of an opportunity maybe to find pickoffs. So we see Moon hunting Armel, but you got to be careful how deep you want to go for this. They had a very slight window there to potentially get a pickoff, but rest of TNC recognizing this, they group up once again and going to continue to try and, you see the lines drawn, hold that triangle camp area.
They're just coming straight back. They don't care.
They know how important it is for, I mean, the farmer and the ancients to control the map as well. And now Moon, see if they can pop the BKB here. which is a 9-second duration for the Windranger at the moment. What is Raven?
Radiant's
He's going for the
middle
Scotty, so
tower is
he
under
almost
attack.
does have this completed.
Dire's bottom
See if he's going to be able to
tower is
have that
under
one
attack.
by the next fight, but might get to a stage when the God Strength is back up. TNC could just force it.
Have learned nothing.
What's their vision looking like? They're just going to clip? No, Moon's not going to walk into that dire Tricamp vision just yet.
Radiant's
So the
middle
Observer Ward that
tower
just
is under
expired
attack.
isn't going to give them that vision, but despite that, they're still going to go for the
Dire's
rush.
bottom tower is under Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I mean the lane's in a very good spot. More
Dire's
importantly,
bottom
mid,
tower
the
has
lane to
fallen.
do a lot across the game in Dota is completely shoved in, top shoved in as well. So I mean, you're going to be able to try and trade and get an objective out of bot, but the big price is going to be that second roche. As Gabbi will claim the Aegis, Armel has got the cheese, and now they're going to smoke up and try and link down to bot.
Just keeping these lanes pushed in as much as they can. You know, Tim's is going to be the one showing, and that's fine.
Dire's
He's got
bottom
plenty of
tower
escape
is
potential
under
for himself
attack.
and a DD. Come on, man.
They got a bottle? No, they don't. Okay.
It's fine. He's just going hunting.
KP's hunting. Fine Jabz gets a double lead from the top of the Euro Scepter. Tims can follow up, however. Now that's no more leap charges. Where's the angle though for Tims? He might run into both of them though. Stuns up one. Doesn't actually have the gem at the moment. He sees Moon is going to try and pop the BKB into the TPR. Moon will be fine. The rest of Fnatic. Oh, that's right.
Oh, it's good though that he interrupted the TP. Now you know that Sven has to be on this bottom side of the map, and wisely enough, Gabby's starting to beeline towards the middle of the map as much as he can.
Does give them, yeah, a lot of information that is even going to show on the outpost here. So we'll see if Rating what they can do. They know they're split up. An opportunity for Moon to maybe go for a pick-off with the Sven not being able to group up. But you see Armel just kind of posturing,
Radiant are scanning.
seeing if the Windranger's thinking about making a play by the bounties. But the arrow forward, they find Tims. Pops the aim on this kid. Looks like still, he's even got that Euro Scepter as well. So nice pick.
See, of course.
Of course, it couldn't be anything else, could it? It just had to be Armel lagging. I mean, how did Fnatic come back into this, you think? I mean, they're down 11,000 gold. The fights have felt very awkward for them. Just, you know, they're splitting up the map, but it feels like going head to head. Is this just giving time for Raven? Or how do you think these fights are going to play out?
It's going to be rough for them, right? It feels like Raven's a good player, but it just felt like I haven't felt his impact at all this game. And as soon as they realized, right, we've been picked off a couple of times by Moon, TNC have just been this ball, just a huge bundle together that never has the potential to get picked off. And even more, Windranger it's all single target focused, right? And he's gone into a Chrysalis, so kind of doubling down on this style. I thought maybe he might opt to go into something like a Hex or something like that, so you can at least, you know, CC someone else while you're trying to burst down a secondary target.
Moon could be in trouble. Gabby's able to find him, has to pop the BKB more defensively here, and now with the TPR under the cover of the Magic Community.
Bash.
Moon is fine, but now off to the western side as well. Armel's got to be careful. They got the ward sentry combination. They're going to try and blink for it from Masaros, but where's the fault? They get rid of the Lincolns. Armel protected thanks to the Omniknight straight on top of the backline. Now with the BKB pop is going to try and look to turn with the tornado. Meanwhile, Gabbi going to work on top of DJ, but it's just a position 5 at the moment. They want a better target. Looks like, unfortunately, Centaur, no retreat capabilities. He's going to be dead in this bottom side. He's down for 60. He's got a buyback available. But TNC, is that their opening to try and get something out of it? Now they've got the God Strength for about half duration left over. You can just allow this vent to siege for 2 minutes left on the Aegis.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They do. They either force the buyback out, they try and make an aggressive play. You've still got about 5 seconds on God Strength, so that tier 3 tower should go down.
Radiant's
Backline,
middle tower
Tim's
has
gonna get
fallen.
caught here, but the stun doesn't last for too long. Hang on, this is gonna get blocked up once again. Now back inside they go. Buyback coming through finally from Centaur, but where's the follow-up stuns? Gabbi, he just runs away, and now they can reset because they've got a ward kind of outside the base here, so they're gonna be careful. Moon. He's pushed up.
Might be dead.
Oh, I mean, Gabbi without that ultimate, maybe lacking some of the damage he's thinking he needs to bring down the Windranger there. So they buyback on Masaros. They don't get anything out of it.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they might try and go for a fake back because Rolling Thunder just came off cooldown, but you know, they're in a strong enough position that they can say, look, Orb of Destruction, that's a fine enough item. I want tier 4 items for Gabbi. I want him to be an absolute beast.
See what else they're able to pick up. I mean, what Timeless Relic at the moment? They need a couple more stacks, jungle camps to be able to find, but this has just been a very slow bleeding game where TNC just kind of continued to grow this net worth lead very methodically, and first game for them, first game for both of these teams throughout the group stages, so trying to just get a little bit of a footing here.
It's his knife, handy pickup. Pick that one up. I think it's going to be KP.
What do I even get? Illusionist Cape one dial. Nice little flicker as well. Interesting. See if they want to hold that or not. But I mean, there's a Abyssal Blade now picked up with Gabbi. He's still got 15 seconds of the Aegis, and with top shoved in, they're just going to move into the mid wave here. Melee racks down, full set of racks down. I mean, a Lincoln's Heavenly Grace Alacrity. Sven, there is a lot of buffs on this man. He's also got that level 25 as well.
Radiant
Doesn't have the Aegis anymore though. Just expired.
This could be a decent time for Radiant, knowing that the Aegis expired, and he popped that God Strength. We'll see if they can find Tims. So he uses a decent amount of his mobility, but once again, the Aeon Disc, they still find the stun, but Tims is just so hard to catch.
Modes. Or DC again.
Got it.
Shaco, nice.
Get a neutral item instead. They're actually still hunting though, Radiant. Maybe thinking someone's farming up the jungle instead of retreating all the way back to reset with the team here, which they have done so far. But have Radiant got a gem so far? They do not. I'm really intrigued to see when they want to pick up a gem, because it's felt like Dire have had the map control for a majority of the game, and also won the warding battle as well.
It feels like they're just having to play so much more reactively than TNC, right?
Yep.
Like all of their wards are just on defensive parts of the map. You look at TNC, they're aggressive. They're trying to make pickoffs happen. Be able to take away this this camp from them, or sorry, this outpost. So
Moon
get that experience.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, sorry, they're gonna split it.
Oh, a double damage rune. Oh, Moon. He wants to steal it. He got it. But it could cost him his life down though. Maybe they were baiting it potentially as Moon. I mean, he doesn't have a buyback.
Yeah.
Just instant tip from Gabbi. I mean, that is,
He had the vision, so there's no excuse there. Yeah.
well, that's rough to say the least, because now TNC are just going to walk it down. Windranger, no buyback. We'll see how they're going to be able to hold this. I mean, no repair kit shenanigans that we'll see, so TNC, they can just siege it down with mid pushed in, Bod's getting shoved in as well, and just once again, look at the steroids that they give over to Gabbi, and knowing that he's not buying back, they want to try and end it.
It's so hard to kill anyone. Even Armel, he's picked up that Shaco, so he's sitting at 3.3k HP.
They're going to try and move forward on Raven's illusion. KP just controlling with the Atos, making it difficult for the Morphling to go on top of the backline, where we see Masaros going instantly with the double stun, but it doesn't matter, because this is going to fall with the Rolling Thunder, and now that Heavenly Grace, along with the Guardian Angel, just nulling out any damage that the Morphling's able to dish out at the moment, as Dire just running them rampant inside the base. 4 down, Dire back on the Mirana. This Morphling hasn't felt like there's been much impact this game at all. It's just Dire. They played the game incredibly methodically, as Raven just goes back in on an illusion, unfortunately, so he's going to pay the prices. But he's still got the man to try and play around with that attribute shift as well if he can get back inside the base. But Windranger is about to be up in 5 seconds, and see if they can hold thing on Fnatic. TNC, they want to try and reset. Gabbi, he's still got the cheese in the backpack. You gotta be careful how far they push out here. Morphling, he's got that status resistance and Heavenly Grace, but Armel can just go back forward. Hex to start, they can follow up, now he's in trouble, gets a force stop for some positioning. Sven's gonna fly through with the Superman on top of the backline. Windranger getting control, so can't find the damage to be able to pick a hero off. Sven falling pretty low, pops the cheese, but having the shotgun as well. Morphling will pay the price, but the real question is can you bring down Gabbi? Nice 2-man shackle. Raven, he needs to get in range to be able to do something. Actually, Lincoln's pops the replicate, so he's unable to utilize this through this engagement. Dire, they're sticking around a little bit too long here. Let's see if they're going to reset, considering Fnatic going to be up in a couple seconds here. They're back in though. Tims once again with the Rolling Thunder, just a constant chain lockdown, making it so awkward for them to be able to take these engagements. Raven pops the BKB's going to try and look to turn to deal with Gabbi, but they don't have detection now. Once Armel is set, the BKB is about to expire. Gabbi's back in, he's got the ultimate cleave as well. It's going to be able to bring down the win range now with this play forward as well. Morphling falling incredibly low. Raven, he's going to wait for him back up. We've got to keep in mind the thrones exposed as well, but what can they do to defend the base? Is Master with the 3-man hoof song. No detection. Once again, Gabbi he's able to turn. He's got the sustain coming through. Masaros trying to utilize that flicker, but it looks like that's all she wrote. As TNC, an incredible game 1 victory. Gabbi gets an ultra to end at 43 minutes in.
Predator. Victory.
How fun of a hero is Sven, huh? It just seems very fun and balanced, especially when you don't even need to worry about popping a VK